All right, Greco, what do you think? Another town?
Another basement.
I know we gotta get it. I know we gotta get it. No, we gotta get it somehow. Yeah, I know we gotta get it. I know we gotta get it. No, we gotta get it somehow.
What's up? Here we go, Craig.
Here we go. Eddie?
You got us here.
Yeah, I mean, you got here,
We did.
and now you're here.
Finally.
What did we do?
We got to visit Magnificent Collection, or part of the Magnificent Collection
Yeah.
of, like, freaking toy history.
Oh my gosh, it's one of one pieces. Some of them, right? Like some
Yeah, some of them are
were.
pretty unique. So basically what we did, we got the hookup thanks to one of our buddies, Chris Fawcett, and he hooked us up with this guy, Matt, who said, like, I'll get some things out of storage and show you guys around, which ended up resulting in us checking out prototypes, 2D artwork, prototype propositions, stuff that never has been produced out of a couple toy lines, ranging from Willow to Indiana Jones to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Toxic
and
Crusaders.
Toxic Crusaders.
Crazy.
So yeah, this whole experience was him grabbing this stuff out box by box and talking about it. So we were like kind of struggling. How are we supposed to do this video?
Yeah.
We got a ton of footage, and I think the best way is just to go about, hey, what's our top 5 pieces in there we were just excited about, or, you know, we were excited to, you know, perhaps one day own or something like that.
Yeah.
Which were the most desired ones for us.
Exactly. Because I myself got 40 minutes of footage of him taking things out of the box, talking about it, but at the same time while I was recording, I wanted to bask in, like, this one time probably opportunity ever to, like, be in front of these toy pieces of toy history, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you agree?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we're gonna go over our top 5 pieces that we saw from Matt's collection. So let's hit it.
Let's go.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna start. We're gonna start with number 5. So for myself, it was that storage shell Leo. Now, which piece in the production was this?
Well, this is actually later. So
Later on.
It's Kid Bashed.
Right.
They used part of the storage cell Donnie, which came out a year before it, and they just created a new head sculpt. And I think the ones that we got were the ones that we got to hold were the ones that were used either at Toy Fair or were as a proof of concept,
Right.
to pitch, like, we want to do all of these like this way. So yeah, there was some sculpting involved, as you might see on the footage. The head sculpt is way bigger than what you would see eventually turn up in the new toy line, or like in the new toy production pieces. But yeah.
Yeah, and so about that, when you say bigger, from what Matt was telling us, it's 5% smaller after it's basically...
It reduces some of,
Yeah.
of the
the mass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was telling Ed, I was like, that head, that bigger head for me, like does it out. I really wish that it would came out that size, because it was just like, I don't know, for me I was like, that's even better.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved it. And yeah, so that is my number 5.
Yeah, my number 5 actually came from Street Sharks. There was one piece of Street Sharks history in there that was just insane. As you may have seen, Mattel Creations did a couple of Street Sharks based on some of the old sketches. Well, one of those old sketches was actually just the one I would think is Ripster.
Mm-hmm.
And he has sunglasses on. And what we got to see is like the very first thing a sculptor does when he gets a sketch like this. He'll make like an armature out of some iron wires and pour clay on it and make a rough 3D sketch. Basically, that's the one that had over there.
Yeah, we both got to hold this piece.
Yeah,
and what we held was the very first
sculpture
of freaking Street Sharks. Like that. Oh my gosh, dude! Like that's crazy. I mean, right now I have goosebumps. Like that is just nuts, dude.
It was insane.
So that's your number 5.
That's my number 5, definitely. And also, it's like for purpose of video, it's where you start.
Yeah, it's crazy. Number 4 for myself, and I'm trying to remember because everything is right there. My list. But no, my number 4 was the wacky action Toxie. So this was supposed to come out in series 2, correct? So if you know the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle line, the wacky action, this was that, but Toxie version.
Yeah, and you would actually have a Toxie with the same little, what is it, like the little package thing on the side that the wacky action Rocksteady has, but also Michelangelo. What Toxie would do is he would take his mop and make it go up and down constantly. So pretty much like Rocksteady actually is action. It's pretty much the same thing. And once again, this is a kid bashed piece and just looking awesome. You can see like the newly sculpted stuff on there. I think it's just a proof of concept, because unfortunately the line didn't make it into Wave 2. But as they were already doing this stuff with Turtles, it was an easy way to go and create a variation for Toxie in the next wave. Seeing as you're grabbing that one, that was also my number 4.
Was it?
I'm gonna throw another thing in the mix.
Okay.
We saw a Slash.
Buddy.
In the beginning, Slash, I don't know when it came out. Was it 1990? 89?
It was Slash was 89.
89? You sure?
It
was pretty early in the line, because what they initially wanted to do with Slash and what we saw was a way bigger sculpt, like a huge looking Slash, but they couldn't fit him in the blister. Or it would have cost maybe too much, because it's quite a big mass. But what we saw there was the wax sculpture for that.
And
so
just
the second phase. So what they would do is, you got the Street Sharks clay thing that would go into a mold, and then you would pour wax in that, and then it would start bringing all the details in the sculptors. And what we saw was basically just a torso. It didn't have any legs or anything, but it had the face. It had a huge shell. Looked freaking amazing. It might have actually ended up in some of those minis, like the mini play sets. That has one of those really big horns coming out.
Yes,
and stuff
exactly.
Like
it's pretty gnarly.
So I want to put that on my top 4, because it's kind of unproduced, and it's kind of like seeing like, hey, this is one way it could have gone.
It's crazy because like we were talking about, it really reminded me of the like Super 7 Ultimate Slash. Like I told you, like there it is right there. We were gonna take it out and kind of do a little comparison if we could, but I really believe it would have been like maybe 6 to 7 inch scale, or
it was definitely big.
It was huge, guys. Like that's a regular Slash.
The shell was definitely twice the size.
It was so big. I guarantee you, what we were looking at, I mean, that bus was like that big. And like Ed was saying, the horns on the shell was just like
Or,
towering.
like the Mutations Toka?
Yeah.
Something like that,
Yes.
size-wise. That shell, yeah.
It's huge.
Huge indeed.
Dude. That's what she said. Good,
Wow.
Good number 4, man.
Yeah.
That was a good
Yeah,
one.
but the Toxie, that was a great one as well, man.
Yeah. So it would be my number 3. Number 3. We were talking about this on the way back, but my number 3 would actually been that Ray Fillet.
Yeah.
So the Ray Fillet that we saw had all the different color variations that he came in. There was 4, correct?
Yeah. So you had 4, and I think the one you're referring to is the way he would have looked when he came in contact with water, because he had this changing thing.
Yeah.
Like if he got
Little
in
crest,
contact with
yeah.
hot or with cold water,
Mm-hmm.
it would have a color changing application done in the paint. And I guess this one was actually just a showcase on
Yes.
the back of the card.
See, that's what got me. I was like, this is what they use for all the pictures, like probably Toy Fair. And I was like, this is a huge piece of like TMNT history here, because this is what they took photos of. This piece right here to tell the world how, the different he can change for different colors, and I think that's what did it for me. I mean, that was huge in my head, so that would be my number 3.
Definitely, yeah. And sticking with color, we didn't just get to see some of the back cards that were pre-production, but also like just the artwork. There was a folder filled with just 2D stuff,
Yes.
ranging from Willow to Dick Tracy, crazy stuff like that, and turtles as well.
Crazy.
But the one I'm picking out is another turtle prototype, a painted raisin copy in this case, and it's the alternate color palette for Triceraton. Yeah, made by Scott Hennessy. He probably painted it over at Anaglyph Studios. What he would have probably done is, as Matt has explained to us, is like he'll probably made 3 different variations, not really knowing where they wanted to go with. And this one is just a beautiful purple with I guess he had blue trousers. I'm trying to remember as well.
Yeah.
Because it's already so long ago.
the
I'm glad
purple-
we have footage.
Yeah, the purple really popped. I mean, when he took that out, we were like, holy moly, that's a completely different figure than what we're accustomed to, but it really popped.
It would have worked.
Yes.
Would have definitely
I
worked.
mean, that would have been cool just to do a variant of that. Like,
And just to see the toys in that stage where they are raising cast, meant for the purpose of being sent off for a metal mold or for a toy fair or just a presentation to get him approved or anything like that. The detail that goes into hand painting these is not what you get in the production, but it's what you see mostly on the back cards.
Yep.
That's why there's such a big difference in between them.
yeah.
So that's why I kind of wanted to throw that one in the mix. Triceraton is one of my favorites. It's also in my top 10, so yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely cool.
that's a great pick. That's a great pick because those colors really, really pop. So, great choice, Ed. Number two. So this is where I kind of changed things up when we were talking earlier or
I
yesterday.
did too. I did
Yeah,
too.
you
I
did?
changed stuff.
So my number 2 is that the Toxie, but the one where he's in the American
Oh yeah.
outfit. Like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
What? He pulled that out and I lost it, dude. I was like, this. I mean, obviously it was a concept,
And there's
and
multiple existence.
yeah,
Like done a few with the idea, like with different paint schemes, but just like really going with the American flag inspired stuff.
I just thought that was crazy, and the more I thought about it, that one was not even in my top 5 yesterday when we talked. But like the more I thought about it, I was like, man, like that's freaking awesome. I would have loved to have that bigger. And where's my toxic? I don't know where he's at. But imagine, you know, it was a repaint, right?
Yeah,
it was a repaint.
Yeah.
But still, that would have been really cool to have, and in a wave. Did he mention when was that just a proof of concept, or was it supposed to be in like?
I think it was just supposed to be like a variation.
A variation.
I think they were really toying around with that idea, apparently.
Toying around. But that would have been my number. That's my number 2 for sure.
Yeah.
Roadhouse.
All right. My number 2, and I have to kind of stay through to what I would want out of this stuff, has got to be the Sword Shell Raphael. Yeah. Same thing as Craig's Leonardo. Sword Shell Raphael is my favorite toy out of the whole bunch. And once again, this is a kid bashed sort of deal, bigger head and everything. So yeah, that's my true number 2. So I'm gonna throw in a little, what is it called again? Honorable mention.
Mentions, yes.
Just to provide some more
Let's do
info
it.
and an excuse to show off this awesome piece. We got to see a giant movie star turtle.
Man.
Which should actually maybe be in the top 5, just because like owning something like that, which is like raising cast, I think. The shell or the torso is blow mold.
Blow mold, yeah.
Wow, that's like having a statue, like an actual statue, for in your collection.
Yeah.
And it'll look beautiful. Just
yeah, I mean,
perfect.
the colors look great. I mean, we got some really good pictures of it. You know, here you go. But yeah, it looked great.
Mikey.
That Mikey looks so good. It was pieced together perfectly. I didn't see really too many issues with that figure right there.
Yeah.
When we built it up, so. Man.
Do you have an honorable mention?
I do.
Because I think we're going in the same direction.
Yeah, we
number
are.
1.
I mean, we already know what our number 1s are. But yeah, I mean, honorable mention, just to give it love, would be Android Krang, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was pretty sweet. I mean, definitely not my top 5, but a really cool piece to see. Hey, this is how it came to exist, and once again, great colors, because it was all hand painted, correct? Colors really popped, and that's what they had at Toy Fair, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And that's how it came to be. I can't remember. Was Krang in there?
Yeah.
He was. Okay. So, yeah, Krang being in the Android body as well, having that. I mean, that piece was sick. It was really cool. So that would probably be my honorable mention for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, before we head into number 1, I kind of just want to throw it out there that without the number 1, none of this probably would have happened. And just throwing a few more honorable mentions in, because we have the footage, so why not? There's a couple things that happened with these items. They're part of the toy history, and one of the things we saw was a Casey Jones with the alternate head.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
They're really toying around with like, are we gonna have him with the hockey mask on or with it off? Are we gonna create like a different mask so we can put it on? Maybe like the Disguised Turtles, the Undercover Donnie in that one, and just remember the little hockey club that they made out of a McDonald's straw.
Yeah, that was crazy.
They put electrical tape on it, and that is actually the sculpting that's on it. So
and then the bat was like actual like wood, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
indeed.
And he just got that in like
Wow.
a couple of days before we got there. He's like, oh yeah, by the way, give me 1 second, guys. Went to a back room, had this box. Here you go, complete. So here's the pictures from that. That's
and that was the wax sculpt.
Yeah.
Then on the other hand, what we also got to see and hold was the alternate version, or like, you know, version
or you know what
2
you're
or
gonna say.
3 of the Rocksteady, which had more teeth.
More teeth.
Yeah.
Yep.
So from the original 10 back.
Yeah, that's the picture that you saw on the back of the
Yeah.
card, right?
And that's I think why there's multiple, you know, there's obviously multiple stages in producing a toy, and sometimes it's just like a small change that they have to create a new mold or change a bit to the mold and everything, and throw it out back out again, and then they obviously have to get approval, or sometimes they'll change this, change that. This was like one that didn't end up going through the whole thing, but he's like stuck in that moment.
Yeah, it's cool.
But his sculpt is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was dope.
But
I
as
dig
we
it.
were saying, none of this would have happened without number 1. And I think are we going in the same direction?
We're going in the same direction.
What
So
is it?
Our number 1 is on 3. 1, 2, 3.
The
pitch
turtle. Yes.
Dude.
I still can't believe that I touched it.
We took pictures with that thing,
Took
man.
pictures, yeah.
That is what started it all. That's what started it all.
Yeah. I mean, like it's a fun story to tell it this way. We can't really confirm if it happened this way, but the pitch turtle, one of these that looked like the ones we were holding, it could have been this one. I hope it's this one. Was presented to Mirage Studios by Playmates, sculpted by Varner Studios, together with 2 other ones, a Donnie painted one and I think a Michelangelo painted one, and the Rocksteady, the big one. That mold didn't come through, unfortunately. But these were the pitch turtles. They pitched to Mirage Studios. They pitched to Kevin Eastman, Peter Laird, and Farley Mark Friedman.
Yep.
That meeting, they were at the meeting, and they
Potentially that turtle that we held.
yeah, and you know, they were also talking to Mattel. They were talking to some other guys, but they made it happen.
Yeah.
And Playmates got to do the line.
Yeah.
And that was the very first time they were actually happy presenting it to the licensors.
Yeah. That moment, like, seriously, there's no words, because that's what started it all. That is what did it. That is what did it, guys. And just to be able to see it, hold it, talk about it, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it was a super fun experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video.
Yeah, I hope so.
Enjoy going through the footage of all the B-roll and stuff.
Yeah, because we have plenty of footage. I mean, we're gonna try to get everything that we saw out to you guys that makes sense, and we really hope you enjoyed it, like Ed said. And
yeah, on my channel, there's also going to be an interview with Matt.
yes,
And we get into some more of the production process. So check it out.
yeah, check it out.
Whenever it
check
comes out.
Ed's Retro Geek Out. Check them out, and dude, that was crazy.
It was.
It was
crazy.
nuts.
So yeah, Cowabunga.
Cowabunga says it all. That was by far the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like,
Still shaking.
yeah, I still can't wrap my brain up. I still can't wrap my brain around. I still can't. Yeah, I can't do that, obviously.